In this video, we're going to analyze 3 critical decisions that look correct, but over time determine how wealth is lost. They don't take your money today. They don't create immediate crises. Instead, they quietly remove something far more valuable: margin, options, and future freedom. And stay until the end of this video, because this chapter reveals a payoff most people completely miss. And understanding it can change how you protect wealth forever. Getting rich is easy. Staying rich is not. Most people believe getting rich is the hard part. It isn't. The hard part is staying rich. Because the decisions that make money are often not the same decisions that protect it. And the most dangerous financial mistakes are not reckless, emotional, or impulsive. They are reasonable, responsible, widely praised. Today you'll see 3 bad decisions that don't feel bad when you make them, but quietly separate those who get rich from those who stay rich. Wealth is more fragile than it looks. The psychology of money is not about strategies or formulas. It's about how human behavior shapes financial outcomes over time. One of its most important ideas is this: wealth is fragile. Not because markets are unpredictable, but because people confuse short-term success with long-term survival. Getting rich often rewards boldness, confidence, and risk. Staying rich requires restraint, margin, and humility. And the conflict begins when people keep making getting rich decisions long after they should be protecting what they've built. That's where invisible damage starts. No margin equals no options. Bad decision 1. Maximizing returns at the cost of margin. This decision feels smart, efficient, optimized. You push your money to work harder. You reduce idle cash. You stay fully invested. At first, there is relief. Everything is productive. Nothing is wasted. But slowly, flexibility disappears. When all your capital is committed, every surprise becomes a threat. Every downturn feels personal. Here's the invisible cost. No margin means no room for error. People who get rich often take aggressive positions. People who stay rich protect their ability to survive mistakes. The frustration appears when opportunities show up and you can't move, or when problems arise and you have no buffer. You didn't lose money, you lost options. Survival beats optimization. Getting rich rewards bold decisions. Staying rich punishes them. One of the most dangerous financial mistakes is trying to be perfectly efficient. When all your money is working, when every dollar is invested, when there's no cash doing nothing, you feel smart, optimized, in control. But what you actually removed is margin. And without margin, every surprise becomes a threat. You didn't lose money. You lost the ability to absorb a mistake. People who get rich chase maximum returns. People who stay rich protect their room to survive. Margin looks inefficient until it's the only thing keeping you alive. Lifestyle locks you in. Bad decision 2. Turning temporary success into permanent lifestyle. This decision feels deserved. Income increases, confidence grows, life gets better. There is hope here, a sense of arrival. But success has a hidden temptation: to lock it in. When variable income becomes fixed expenses, when flexibility turns into obligation, you trade adaptability for comfort. At first, nothing seems wrong. Everything is affordable. Then conditions change, and the tension becomes clear. Your lifestyle now depends on outcomes staying favorable. Staying rich is not about how much you earn. It's about how little you need. People who lose wealth rarely do so from one bad event. They lose it because they built structures that couldn't bend. The danger wasn't the lifestyle itself, it was making it irreversible. Success can become a trap. Mike Tyson earned over $400 million and still ended up bankrupt. Tyson didn't lose his money because of one bad decision, not because of a bad fight, not because he didn't know how to make money. He lost it because he turned extraordinary income into a permanent lifestyle. Mansions, exotic cars, fixed expenses that were impossible to reverse. While the money was coming in, everything looked sustainable. The problem started when the income stopped. It wasn't the fall that destroyed him. It was building a life too expensive to survive. Getting rich allowed him to spend like a king. Staying rich would have required living like he wasn't one. Most people don't go broke suddenly. They go broke because their life can't shrink. Intelligence doesn't protect you. Bad decision 3. Confusing intelligence with immunity. This is the most subtle decision of all. Success creates belief. Belief creates confidence. Confidence slowly becomes entitlement. You begin to trust your judgment more than uncertainty. You assume skill explains outcomes. This is where cruelty enters. Because markets don't punish stupidity, they punish overconfidence. The clarity is harsh. Being smart does not protect you from risk. People who stay rich build systems that assume they can be wrong. People who get rich once often build stories about why they won't be. And the moment humility disappears, margin disappears with it. Overconfidence is expensive. Being smart doesn't protect you from losing money. Most people believe intelligence is a shield, that if they understand markets, money, or business, they'll see risks before everyone else. But wealth doesn't disappear because people are stupid. It disappears because people start believing the rules no longer apply to them. They confuse past success with future safety. They mistake confidence for control. The moment you think you're immune to risk is the moment risk becomes invisible. People who stay rich assume they can be wrong. People who get rich once assume they won't be. And that assumption is usually the most expensive one. The real payoff. And here is what I promised you at the beginning of this video. The real value of this chapter in the psychology of money is not that it teaches you how to get rich. It teaches you what not to trade away once you have momentum. Because most people don't lose wealth by making one terrible mistake. They lose it by stacking reasonable decisions that quietly remove flexibility, margin, and choice. This chapter matters because it reframes success. It forces you to ask a different question. Not, is this a smart decision? But, does this decision keep my future open? Housel isn't warning you about stupidity. He's warning you about confidence without protection, about success that hardens instead of adapts, about winning that forgets survival. If you understand this chapter correctly, you stop chasing decisions that look impressive today and start prioritizing decisions that keep you alive tomorrow. That shift alone changes how you think about money forever. Wealth is about options. Here is the truth that reframes everything. Getting rich is about making bold decisions. Staying rich is about avoiding irreversible ones. Wealth survives not through brilliance, but through endurance. The psychology of money shows that long-term success belongs to those who protect optionality, who accept lower peaks to avoid permanent valleys, and who understand that survival is the foundation of compounding. The goal was never to win once. It was to stay in the game. Stay in the game. The question isn't whether your decisions make sense today. It's whether they leave you room tomorrow. Because money doesn't disappear suddenly. Options do. And once they're gone, no amount of intelligence can bring them back. This content is for educational and informational purposes only. It does not constitute financial advice. Consult a professional before making financial decisions.